Why you can stop overeating. You know the feeling. One salty crunch turns into 100 and suddenly you're licking the cheese dust and wondering, what's wrong with me? Actually, it's normal to feel like you can stop overeating certain things. Today's hyperpalatable food is creating a modern day food crisis. One that's leaving us feeling sick, out of control and constantly craving more. Here how it works, plus 3 ways to overcome it. But before I start, don't forget to click the subscribe button below. This will help me immensely in creating new content. Processed foods are scientifically engineered to be irresistible and easy to gobble up in large quantities. If you can stop, the chips are doing their job. Even healthy eaters feel out of control around food sometimes, myself included. Even if we value nutrition and want to take care of ourselves, some foods can make us feel like kind of possessed. You reach into the freezer to have 1 spoonful of ice cream and suddenly you're mining the caramel swirl, then the nut cluster, then the brownie chunks, and then your spoon scrapes the bottom. I know I've been there. Even with the best intentions, the pull of certain foods is so strong that it can leave us feeling powerless. Certain foods are actually designed to make us overeat. In fact, there's a whole industry dedicated to creating food that's hyperpalatable, food that's so tasty it's nearly irresistible. Your body and brain are responding to exactly how they're supposed to. It's supposed to feel almost unnatural to stop eating these foods. But we're not talking about food like celery sticks, whole brown rice, or baked salmon fillet. How often do you hear yourself say, hey, I ate so many asparagus I couldn't help myself? That's right, you've never heard yourself say that. Processed foods are highly craveable, immediately gratifying, fun to eat, and easy to overconsume quickly and often cheaply. The food industry has a variety of processing methods and ingredient additives they use to make food extra tasty and easy to consume and overconsume. Here are a few examples. You all heard of flavor enhancers, right? Flavor additives like artificial flavoring agents or monosodium glutamate, MSG, allow food manufacturers to amplify taste without adding whole food ingredients like fruits, vegetables, or spices. This is useful because artificial flavoring agents are cheap and won't change a product's texture. How about coloring agents? Color strongly affects how appealing we perceive a food to be. No one wants to eat a gray cracker, right? Add a toasty golden shade and suddenly that cracker is a lot more appealing. Coloring agents like yellow number 5, tartrazine, and red number 40, allura red, are added purely for the look of food. They don't add nutrition. Recently, many large food corporations have been switching to natural food dyes like beet powder or turmeric to color their food products after some correlations emerge linking artificial coloring agents to behavioral problems in children. And the extrusion method. Grains are processed into a semi-liquid texture and passed through a machine called an extruder. With the help of high heat and pressure, whole raw grains get transformed into hairy, crispy, easy to digest shapes like cereals, crackers, and other crunchy foods with uniform shapes. In addition to changing texture and digestibility, the extrusion process also destroys certain nutrients and enzymes, denatures proteins, and changes the starch composition of a grain. This lowers the nutrition and increases the glycemic index of the product. Also, there are 4 sneaky ways processed food can make you overeat. Often we're not even aware of how much these factors affect us. 1. Marketing convinces us that processed foods are healthy. You'll see chips prepared with avocado oil, sugar cereal made with flax seeds, or creamy chip dip with real spinach. The nutrient content of those foods isn't particularly impressive, but the addition of nutrition buzzwords and trendy ingredients make us perceive them as healthy. 2. Big portions makes us think we're getting a good deal. People get mixed up about food and value. We're taught to save money and not waste food. We're taught to buy more for less. Given the choice between a small juice for $2 and a pop with endless refills for the same price, the pop seems like a better value. What we don't calculate into this equation is the something called health tax. The health tax is the toll you pay for eating low-nutrient, highly processed foods. If you eat them constantly, over time, eventually you'll pay the price with your health. When companies use cheap, poor quality ingredients, they can sell you bigger quantities without raising the price. But what's the deal? Sure, you'll save $1 in the short term, but you'll pay the health tax through poor health in the long term. 4. Multiple flavors at once are irresistible. If there's a party in your mouth, you can guarantee that at least 2 of the 3 of the following guests will be there: sugar, fat, or salt. These 3 flavors, the sweetness of sugar, the luxurious mouthful of fat, and the sharp savory of salt, are favorites among those of us with mouths. This is called stimuli stacking, combining 2 or more flavors to create a hyperpalatable food. Food manufacturers know when it comes to encouraging people to overeat, 2 flavors are better than 1. So let's be smarter than them. Here are 3 strategies to find your way back to a peaceful relationship with food. First, get curious about the foods you eat. We've established that processed foods are designed to be easy to eat. For food to be easy to eat, it has to be broken down easily, meaning less chewing, and low volume, which doesn't take up much physical space. So, less chewing plus low volume equals more eating. Whole foods will always require more chewing, and thus we eat less in the end. Second, notice the messages you're getting about food. Food manufacturers use creative marketing strategies to imply processed foods are healthy. And even if you know they're not, they have other ways of getting you to buy them. Third tip, look for patterns. Habits are powerful, for better or for worse. They can work for us or against us. Put the science of habits to work. First, identify your triggers: feeling, time of day, social setting, place, thought pattern. Then, to differentiate overeating from binge eating, keep in mind that binge eating feels disassociated, out of control, hard to stop, and usually comes with feelings of shame and guilt. 2. Find a new behavior in response to your triggers. In order to find the right new behavior, it's helpful to know that when you eat, you're trying to meet a need. For example, a client whose trigger was talking to her ex-husband. She felt hangry when she interacted with him, and some furious crunching on chips temporarily made her feel better. She eventually replaced the crunching with a punching bag session or a stomping up and down the stairs. Both activities were effective at relieving tension, but unlike the chips, they supported her goals. 3. Put quality above quantity always. 4. Focus on whole foods. 5. Find feel-good habits that support your goals. The point is to simply disrupt the cycle of trigger and replace eating with activity that supports your goal. And finally, 6. Slow down. Binging can feel stressful and out of control. By slowing down, we help ourselves calm down and take back some of the control. Most people know that regular movement, eating well, sleep, and stress management are important for looking and feeling better. Yet, they need help applying that knowledge in the context of their busy, sometimes stressful lives. So, to sum it up, there are ways to stop overeating. It's important to be able to identify better food options and recognize the marketing trap holes that are everywhere, and break the pattern by being mindful of what you eat, eating slowly, and other actions to get back in control. Over the past 15 years, the precision nutrition coaching method helped over 100,000 people lose fat, get stronger, and improve their health for the long term, no matter what challenges they're dealing with. As a PN certified nutrition coach, I have the tools and knowledge to help you get back to the best version of you. Don't hesitate to contact me. All my coordinates are listed in the description below. I hope you found some value in this video, and I invite you to click on the subscribe button below and the little bell to be notified of my next videos regarding nutrition, weight loss, and fitness. With this, I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay fit.